Does Disney not seem to understand that children of all ethnic backgrounds watch their show? Disney made the same character twice thinking that we weren't going to get away with it. And what type of animal was Mrs. Kipling from Jessie?
I'd come teach at your camp, but it's so far.
Hey y'all, it's Harriyanna and I'm back with another video. If you are new here, hello, I am Harriyanna and welcome aboard Harry Hook's pirate ship, the pirate ship. You are in for something. I don't know what you're in for, but you're in for something. As you guys see, I have changed my hair again. We got the crochet braids in here. It's like, it's not crocheted, it's braided in my hair, but it's crocheted hair. And she's also part blonde again. The front part is blonde. Every time I go blonde, you guys can blame Beyonce, because every time I do blonde, I think of when she was in Destiny's Child, because I want to feel like Beyonce when she was in Destiny's Child. Okay, I don't care. This is... blame Beyonce. It's her fault why my hair's like this. Anyway, I know you guys are tired of me doing self-promotion, but I have to do it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry if it bothers you, but yes, I am on Patreon. You guys, please go support over there. I try to make the tiers cheap as possible. I have a lot of exclusive content going over there, and you're not going to be able to see it unless you're on the Patreon. Wink wink. So yes, please go and sign up. I would really appreciate it if you guys could do that. Now, before we go any further into today's video, because today's video is going to be a bit of a tough one, y'all, we got to go over some ground rules, because some of y'all need to sit in y'all place. Now, I will put a timestamp on the screen, so you guys do want to skip, but please watch this. I am begging you. If you have an idea for me to make a video, you need to ask. You do not tell me what to do. You do not tell me what I do need to talk about and this and that and the third, coming to me saying, you need to make a video about this, make a video about this. I expect you to make a video about this. I expect to respond on this, yada yada. Y'all don't tell me what to do. If y'all want a video on this so bad, make it yourself. You ask, okay? You ask. Have some manners, please. It really comes off a bit as rude. I know a lot of you guys don't mean it like that, but it really does come off as rude. And y'all have to remember that I am one person. I run this pirate ship by myself, okay? I run it myself. Y'all need, like, it just really comes off as a bit rude, like I said earlier, and y'all just ask nicely. If you have a video idea for me to make, you need to send that to my email, okay? This is like my fault, because I didn't make it clear enough that y'all need to email me about this stuff. I do have my email down below, and I will continue to post it on my community post every week. So you have an idea, you need to email me that, because y'all, I get so many DMs, I get so many comments about you guys' ideas, and a lot of you guys give me really great ideas, but I forget. I'm able to keep up with stuff easier if you guys send it to my email. So yeah, that's why I heavily push that down. And the last but not least, y'all need to remember what my brand is and what my niche is. I have made it clear that I make videos specifically about children and families entertainment, nostalgia, and the social issues that revolve around that somewhat. Y'all be telling me to talk about a whole bunch of new stuff and stuff that don't got nothing to do with what I am doing, and it really does bother me. Like, it just does not fit my aesthetic. If it does not fit me and my brand, I'm most likely not going to talk about it unless it's like a rare special occasion. Like, if it's something that I see keeps being asked over and over again by popular demand, I will make it, okay? But y'all, please, like, just keep in mind what kind of videos I make. Like, I do have a video about The Game coming up soon. Now, The Game is not a family and children show, but it is old. I grew up watching The Game. Even though it is adult, it is technically nostalgic because it is older. I have a video coming about Scream soon. Scream is not a new movie. It is an R-rated movie, but that is a movie I loved when I was a teenager. So yeah, y'all see where I'm coming from. Now, I have a rule. If it's anything that came out past 2014, anything that is not children and families entertainment, I'm not talking about it, okay? Unless it's like a rare thing that like catches my attention, not talking about it. So let's continue with today's video. Like, I really do enjoy you guys, but y'all gotta have that respect for me, please. Like, I love y'all, but please respect me. Today we are going to be talking about anti-Indian sentiment. Now, a lot of people probably have no idea what that was that I just said. You probably don't even know what this video probably is going to be about, but I don't see anybody on YouTube talk about this. And I did get a comment on my Shake It Up video that really brought this to my attention, because I did want to talk about Jessie soon. I was going to make the video about Zuri Ross, or just Emma Ross, because I really kind of wanted to do one more on Emma because I can't stand her character, but she's such a complex character to me. But Robbie Ross needs to be talked about, okay? There is so much wrong that went into Robbie Ross's character. Y'all, I'm sorry, I gotta move this. This is bothering me. Okay, that's a little bit better. That's better. But Robbie Ross deserves so much better. Karen Barr deserves so much better. Oh my gosh. We're just gonna go and hop into it. Now, what is anti-Indian sentiment? Now, before I begin to it, I know Indian people can either be called Indian or South Asian people. Indian people are Asian. That's one thing that people don't seem to get. They're the same thing. But we are specifically talking about Asian people that have come from the country of India. So that's why we will be referring to these people that we talk about in this video as Indian people, because that is what they are. Now, anti-Indian sentiment is basically the racism and prejudice towards Indian people, or people that come from the country of India. This includes the dislike of Indian people, picking at Indian people, and making fun of Indian culture. Now, I've had feelings about Jessie. Like, I adore Jessie. I thought it was such a good show, but there is so much that is not right about that show in general. I will literally make a video one day about all that was wrong with Jessie, but their anti-Indian sentiment is like the biggest issue, I think, overall, and we're going to elaborate on that, because anti-Indian sentiment is a big issue in Hollywood that does not get talked about enough. Like, Hollywood is very anti-Indian. They're very anti-everything. They're very anti-LGBTQ. They're very anti-black and anti-Asian. Like, if you are not a straight white person, Hollywood is a bit anti towards you. But you know where I'm going with this. But Indian people usually are not portrayed the best, in my opinion. Like, especially in children's shows. Like, I specifically remember I Am Frankie. Before we get into Jessie, we are going to briefly talk about I Am Frankie, mainly because I don't see anybody talk about I Am Frankie on here. It's a cute little kid show, y'all. Go ahead and put that in front of your kids. It's about STEM and girl power and whatnot, and androids and whatnot. But the mean girl on the show was an Indian girl named Tammy. She was played by Moana. I love Moana. I freaking adore her. She's a good kid, y'all. Go follow her. But yes, my problem with her is that she was just so uptight, stuck up, and rude and whatnot. And y'all know what my problem is with that, is that I wouldn't have had a problem with it if she wasn't the only Indian character that was like that. As you guys know, when I talk about black girl characters, and I said I wouldn't have a problem because all black girls don't act like that. And with Tammy on I Am Frankie being the mean girl, it really does show that, like, what? Come on, y'all. Come on. Like, I would have preferred if Tammy was portrayed to be a bit nicer or in a nicer light, because that is like, I don't think I remember seeing an Indian person, period, on Nickelodeon until I saw her. But yeah, like I said, I just wish she was portrayed. No, Sanjay and Craig was trash, like I said. Feeding more into that, I just wish she was portrayed in a nicer light, because it's so rare for Indian children that live in America to see themselves on TV like that. And I just kind of wish she was portrayed in a better light. Going into Mr. Robbie Ross, like, I think when we bring up children's television and we bring up Indian characters, he is the main one that comes to mind, okay? Because he is the most prominent. That, I think he was the first time I ever saw an Indian kid on my TV on Disney Channel. Like, I've seen Indian people in other things I have watched, but this is the first time I ever saw it on Disney Channel. Jessie, I mentioned earlier, has a lot of issues into it, but anti-Indian sentiment was his big one. And also, aside from them being racist towards Robbie, they were a bit xenophobic towards him, because as we know, Robbie was adopted. He was adopted like in the beginning of the show, like a month before Jessie came and started being the nanny towards the kids. He's also from India. So yeah, he's had like a sad life, sad backstory. We love Ravi in this house. I really don't want to say nothing bad about him because his character has been through so much at a young age. But my thing is this, that Ravi was a sweet kid. I love that about him. I really loved how he was portrayed to be in a nicer light than Tammy from I Am Frankie was, but I don't like how he was the biggest outcast out of all the children. All the other kids seemed to be somewhat popular with their little cliques, and then Ravi was just a little outcast. Like, he was portrayed to be very nerdy and very smart. As we all know, that is like a typical Asian stereotype that I'm so tired of seeing. But yes, Ravi falls into that, sadly. His only friend was a pet lizard. What was Mrs. Kipling? A lizard? What was that? Hold up. Let's ask Google. What type of animal was Mrs. Kipling from Jessie?
According to Newsday, Kipling is actually a male lizard named Frank, which is an Asian water monitor lizard.
Thank you. Okay, he was a lizard. He was a lizard. He was an Asian lizard. Oh, it makes sense because he brought Mr. Kipling over with him. Okay, let's go back into it. Let's get off track. We got our topic. My bad. Ravi as a whole was a good character, but the way everybody around him treated him was not. Because I remember particularly with the creepy Connie girl that they dated for like a little while, and then she came back and he mentioned it to her, talking about, hey, you're my ex-girlfriend, and she was like, oh yeah, I was embarrassed by dating you. And I was like, okay, does Disney not seem to understand that children of all ethnic backgrounds watch their show? You do not understand, like, what if a little Asian girl or a little Indian girl or a little Indian boy saw that? Do you not understand how that could have impacted them? That the little white girl said she was embarrassed to be seen with the Indian boy. Like, do you not understand how problematic that is? Like, anyway, let's move on. Also just kind of leads into showing how, have you noticed that Ravi never really had a love interest, to be honest? Like, if he did have a love interest, the girl didn't really like him back or anything, or it was that creepy Connie mess. I'm really tired of like Indian people in general in Hollywood that I specifically noticed. They're not seen to be as romantic, and that goes for just Asian people in general in Hollywood. They're never really seen to be as romantic. They're always just thrown into that stereotype as being like this asexual being that is just super smart and super tight and super weird and quirky and whatnot. That really does bother me as a person, okay? Ravi's character is very, very familiar. Like, he's nerdy, he's weak, he has that accent, he has a group of friends that just kind of tolerate him. He's always the butt of the jokes. Y'all, that's literally Baljeet. Disney made the same character twice thinking that we weren't going to get away with it. And with Baljeet, that really freaking bothers me because Baljeet, Buford liked Baljeet. I don't care what nobody says. That's a whole topic for another scale stage, but Buford liked Baljeet. But as Baljeet was always the butt of the jokes and everything like that. And I did make a TikTok recently about Baljeet, but it was just about like him singing, but anything like that. But he was just like Ravi. There was no different kind of character. I don't understand how Disney thought it was okay for them to get away with that. I really hope I'm not the only person that caught they made the same character twice. Mentioned earlier, I was like, does Disney not seem to understand how much of an impact that their channel has on the children that watch it? Hollywood portrays Indian people really affects how people see Indian people in the real life. That's why we were talking about why we need to have better representation on television, because I remember Karan posted on his Instagram page where he was basically called out of his name by a worker at Starbucks when he ordered his drink. Like, if he still has a picture of it, if I can find it, I will put it in here, because I was disgusted. Okay, I was extremely disgusted. I can't believe people still do things like this, and it's sad to show, because on the internet we think that everybody is so like supportive and progressive and whatnot, but they're really not. We have to remember that the internet is a really small percentage of the real life. Like when we turn our phones off and we go out into the real world and we see how much bigotry is out there, we realize that so many people don't care about the real issues that are going on. Because I personally experienced it this weekend and I was so disgusted with it and I wanted to cry. Like I actually went back to my car crying because I was just so disgusted with what I saw, and it really hurt me to show that wow, social media is only this many people. Like I said, online activism only does so much. It really only does so much, because sometimes you just cannot change the opinions of just ignorant people. I want to know how Hollywood's portrayal of Indian people affects people in real life. I have a personal story time that I am going to share with you guys, because this story literally breaks my heart. I really wish this man and this woman the best of everything, because the way they were treated was extremely disgusting. Now, the first story that I had to tell was my 9th grade, where I had a teacher. She was both Indian and Muslim. So I remember that the students will always make fun of her accent. I remember people grew up and they were making fun of Robbie's accent while we were in school, and people would be talking about Jesse and they would be mocking his accent like it was something funny when it really was not. But yes, with this particular teacher, we ended up getting a replacement teacher because our original teacher couldn't teach us anymore. She was retiring. And this woman, she was an amazing teacher. I learned so much math from her because our other teacher, she just really couldn't teach all that much. But this woman was so amazing. But because she was just so different from her students, nobody respected her. Nobody gave her the proper respect that she deserved. And it's so sad, because all she wanted to do was help us. Because that lady that we had before, she did not do anything. We all had 50s the whole entire semester. My teacher, like I said, I'm not saying anyone's name. She went in and boosted all of our grades up to 71 so we can pass and go on without having to repeat the course. Bless her heart so much. But those kids were so freaking rude to her. They would, like, all they would do is just ask her a question, and then they would just say something extremely rude for no reason. Or if she would, like, ask them, hey, could you guys quiet down? They would say no and get louder. She would try to kick them out. They wouldn't leave. Kids are horrible, okay? Let's just go ahead and say that. That's why I can't be a teacher. And the second story that I have, this one, it still really bothers me. I did what I could to show this man that he was loved and appreciated, but my classmates was just not. It was my physics class, and this was his first time ever in America, because, you know, they get, the teaching rates weren't as high as they are over here in America. So he flew out here to America to teach us, and those kids was so freaking ungrateful. Oh my gosh, it was so horrible. All that man did was want to help us, but all they did was disrespect the mess out of him. Like, we didn't meet him until October, where our semester started in August. But yes, he would be up on the in front of the board trying to teach us. Nobody would be paying attention. Everybody would be loud. I would sit there and try to pay attention to what was going on. I couldn't hear anything because everybody was just being so destructive. People would in the class will always invite their friends to come into class as if this was like some study hall session, when it really was not. Like, this is school. This is not the club. This is not the park. This is not lunchtime. Go to freaking class. What the freak is wrong with you? Like, this isn't cute. Stop thinking that disrespecting adults is cute. Like, that's part of the reason why I'm so glad I am out of high school. But anyway, they would just be so freaking mean to this man. Like, I remember that he was going in and putting in grades for us one time in class, and somebody had left the room. He left the room for a minute, and then somebody went up, pulled up the grade book, and started adding in everybody's grades and whatnot. And I was just like, what part of that, what made y'all think that was cute? There was nothing funny about this. This man is literally just trying to do his freaking job, and y'all are making it so difficult on him. But yes, every single day it would just be something new. Because I remember particularly with this one dude, and I heard something about this dude too. Not surprised, but he was trying to ask him a question, and the dude was like, can you shut up? I can't understand your accent. It's getting on my nerves. And I was just like, I don't understand why y'all think it is so funny to be making fun of the way people speak. People cannot help the way that they talk. There is nothing funny about mocking someone's accent, okay? But yes, every day he would just be trying to do it. He'd be on the phone with his wife telling her that I'm just trying to make it. It's gonna be okay. And I I really just wanted to buy this man a gift. I just wanted to give him like a gift basket to say sorry for all my rude classmates' behavior, because I felt so bad for this man. It hurt me just to see the pain on his face. Like, I think he was crying one day because of how horrible they treated him, and he didn't even want to come back for the next year. He refused to come back to our school because the students were so disrespectful to him. And by the way, I just want to let y'all know that these were all black kids that were treating him this way. Like, that's one thing about the black community is that a lot of people don't seem to get, is that like this happens in different people of color communities in general. Like, Asian people be racist to black people be racist to Asian people, Indian people be racist to us, we be racist to them. Like, y'all see the cycle, and that just goes to show you that anybody can be racist, okay? And the way I saw people talk about Ravi and Baljeet and Tammy and whatnot on social media really shows that y'all are not no better. Yes, that is basically all I have to talk about today in today's video. This one was a bit tough to make because just thinking about that man always makes me so sad, and he deserves so much better. I really wish that, like, a part of me just wants to know that he's doing okay right now during his times, because he did not deserve any of that. Because thank you guys for watching this video. It ended on a sad note. I don't like ending my videos on a sad note, but we had to talk about something today, because you all need to understand that how Hollywood portrays people counterparts on how people treat others in real life, and that is like the main purpose of this video. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I love you all, and yeah, have a good night.